living next to a crematory, to growing up during World War II. Author Robert McNally recounts his life in his latest memoir, I Had Jelly on My Nose and a Hole in My Breeches. He joins me right now. It's so great to meet you in person, Robert. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Please tell me what this title means. I have
Okay,
jelly on my nose.
Yes, I was unsure as to what title to give it,
Yeah.
And so I just took a specific thing, because it's about a boy, and all boys wind up doing what happened to me, I guess. I fell off a kiddie car. I lived next door to a crematory on top of a hill, cemetery across the street, and the workers saw me fall, and one always serenaded me with, "You fell off your
bike, your
bicycle, you
got jelly on your nose.
Jelly
You've got
on your nose,
you have a boo-boo on your
hole,
nose.
Yeah, and a hole in your britches." So that's how that came about. It doesn't cover the entire book, but just that one specific thing that I thought it was, catchy.
Yeah.
People say they liked it. Others said your titles are too long, because my second book is very long too.
I think it's kind of draws the reader in.
Yeah.
You have led quite a storied life. You've decided to put pen to paper. Why now? Why is it important now for the world to know about your story?
Yeah, I feel it is important, partly because of how the world is today. I just feel it was better then, even though we were living in the Great Depression, and then we moved along into World War II. But I just feel that people should get a chance to see how things were in those days. And I was always a happy child, no matter how terrible things were. School was really awful.
You got left back 5 times.
Yes, it's that I got left back twice. Then I walked out of school, and that they made me repeat that grade in a public school. Because yes, in grammar school, but in public school. I was in Catholic school, but when I started in Bridgeport, I completed kindergarten, which they called primary, and then I did 1A and 1B. That covers a year.
Oh my God! So the bottom line is they made sure you went back to school, but it was still a rough go.
Yes.
I think we have a few pictures of your family. You said that you were born and raised in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Yes.
Here is the first picture. Who is this?
That's my mother, my sister Judy. She's a year and 9 months older than me. And then there he is.
Is that in Bridgeport?
No, this is by the crematory.
Oh, by the crematory.
So we moved from Bridgeport because of the Great Depression. And my dad couldn't get work. He was on the WPA for a while, but his aunt was the president of the crematory in Middle Village, Queens.
Ah, so
and
that's
so
how
he
you
got
met.
a job. Here's another picture.
Is this your dad?
They look like the killers in the.
They look like gangsters. Who is that?
My father's on the left, and his brother Eddie is on the right. And Eddie carried me down the back staircase of Bridgeport Hospital when I was born.
Look at that. I think we have one last picture.
I even have that in the book where I said, if anyone at the hospital can check the records, I will pay for me because I've never been paid for.
Really?
They sneaked me out.
Of the hospital?
Of the hospital. And they've never gotten back to me, even though I've even contacted them.
No way, Jose.
I thought it would be a lot of fun,
Right, of course.
And I said, but don't, charge interest. I said, because
Interest.
I didn't do it,
No way.
And there's thieves in my family.
Richard, what are you working on next? What can we look forward to?
Okay, the second book is out, and that is Sister Superior's Thumb, the Pope's Ring, and the End of Childhood. So that brings me, like the first book brings me to age 13, and then from 13 to 18 is the second book.
All right.
And there's a third book, which
In the making?
Yeah, in the making. I've finished it, but I have to get it,
to the printer.
published. Yeah.
All right.
To the printer.
All right. It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much
Oh,
for joining us on
appreciate
CT Style. Look forward to reading your memoirs. The name of Robert's book is I Had Jelly on My Nose and a Hole in My Breeches. You can go out and buy it and read it for yourself. Up next, Ryan heads over